few moments later.
Zaga Tanga Abanga Zaza Azanga Tanga Kaka Pakaka Kandaga Bananda Unga Nuna Kana Rockstev Kastev Vana Kastev Vimanga Zanga Na Kanda Bana We Kanda Sema Ara Zonga.
So let me get this straight. You got the idea for this spell mechanism because your ancient ancestors came up with the mechanism.
Yup.
Biohazard Madness, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, and Skippy Toilet exists.
This, my fellow infected psychopaths, is the Exo Mark II, a bow when you want to kill multiple enemies without reloading a shot. Despite the bullshit I said in the skit, the idea for Mark II came to me while I was building Mark I of the Exo Bow. You see, Mark I mechanism had to be as simple as possible, and using a long rod to slam and shoot the projectiles out is as simple as you're going to get. The only way it could be even more simple is if I just threw the Legos rather than shoot them. Anyways, while I was designing the first Exo Bow, my insane mind started to wander over to the common sling-based bolt-action Lego guns and its potential use. Sling-based bolt-action Lego guns are designed to have a elongated bolt-like piece that is designed to carry a rubber band, aka the sling, to a certain point of the gun. A projectile will be placed or pushed in between the sling and the trigger. When the bolt is pushed forward again, the trigger will stop the projectile from going forward until the trigger is pulled. When the trigger is pulled, the projectile will be released, firing the weapon. Like I said earlier, I thought about doing this mechanism type for this model, but I was worried if I did, I would have Steve be like, "Hey, this is too complicated for my small brain. Therefore, it doesn't count."
Hey, I don't sound like that.
Nah, you do. Anyways, I had to keep it simple with Mark 1, but with Mark 2, I was as free to make the mechanism as advanced as I wanted. So I did. The mechanism uses a sling-based bolt, just like I talked about earlier. However, what makes mine different is the trigger placement. When I pull and release the bolt will be forced forward due to the rubber bands tied from it to the arms of the bow. This will in turn cause the bolt to slam into a lever that's connected to the trigger, which will then cause the trigger to release and fire the bow. When I draw the bolt back, a rubber band will reset the trigger again. In the last version, a clip was used to hold the ammunition. Mark II is different. Instead of using a clip, it uses an internal magazine, kinda like my little Terror. So, fun fact, when I was first making the bow, I first thought, hey, I could just use a mechanism similar to the little Terror pistol, but with an internal spring instead of rubber band, since, springs last longer. But I soon found out that wasn't going to work the hard way. Let's just say I may or may not have smashed the first design for Mark II due to jamming. Anyways, after screaming some obscenities to every known deity known to man, I fixed and improved the mechanism and rebuilt the bow, of course. When I draw the bolt all the way back, the sling part will push on the axle back just enough where a round will be chambered from the magazine to in front of the sling. When the bolt is released, the axle will be pushed forward thanks to a rubber band tied to an axle pin connector that's attached to the back end of the axle. The axle will act like a blockage for the other projectiles until I draw the bolt back.
Use the failure as a bridge to distance is 19 to 22 feet or 5.7910 to 6.7056 meters.
All in all, the weapon turned out to be pretty great. It was quite nice to live out my Legolas Greenleaf fantasy. I'm sure Gandalf and Frodo will be quite proud. My only complaint, and keep in mind this isn't really much of a complaint, more like a nitpicking thing, and it's that I have to train myself to use the Exa Bow Mark II. Using a bow-like weapon is just something I'm not used to. I'm just used to using Lego firearms to mow down my enemies. But like I said, it's more of a nitpicking thing. Once I got the hang of it, I became pretty decent at using the bow-like weapon. But still, I'd rather use a handgun, or a rifle, or a shotgun, or even a Lego machine gun. And that's all time we have today for this class of Arsenal. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, hit or shoot the notification bell. Also, be sure to check out my other videos. Until next time, see you later, you psychopaths.